Hello everyone, it's your bud. In today's video we're going to be talking about my One Piece original crew, but we're going to be starting with a poem I wrote about the sea and the ocean from, let's see, April the 29th of 2016. It's an old one, but it's one of my favorite poems that I've ever written. Now I actually tried to do this as song lyrics, but that's just a bit too much work for me today, so we're going to do this as a poem. I never get sick of the waves on the sea. When they chop and are rough, they only please me. I'll stay here in the breeze, I'll be here in the sun, and I will feel complete before the day's done. The foam sprays on the deck as I take in the scene, and I travel from island to mainland so free. The gulls in the evening circle the ship as they sing to me as I take on this trip. Now the open sea's gone and we sail through the pass, and the horn on the ship sounds its mighty blast. The sun's behind hills, but it still fills the sky and lights up the trails of the plane passing by. The smooth water laps as we pass by a beach near rocky shores draped in moss and trees. The sun peeks out again as we get through the pass, and the clouds orange-red say the evening will last. The water so smooth makes a line to the sun and reflects silhouettes of the islands as one. The sun in the sky and the islands of trees are as good as it gets, and it does get to me. I see a lighthouse that tells me it's safe, but I can't count 10 clouds in all the sky's space. As the sun crowns the hill with a golden light, it prepares to dip behind islands for night. The clouds start to bruise purple, all 10 in the sky, and I know soon the stars will shine clear to my eyes. I watch a seal as it crosses my path. The clear, still water broke at its back. I'm very happy that I'm close to home, yet I feel miles away, so at peace and alone. The light falls away as I strain my eyes. Still, this view doesn't come as a surprise. When you live on an island, you live on the ferry, but the view's always great and something to cherish. The ocean now seems dark and deep as can be, and the lights from the ship dances round on the sea. I see my island now, twinkling with lights. I'm cool and I'm tired and feeling just right. It's the end of an evening and I'm heading home. Still the calm's in my heart and the sea's in my bones. Well, that was a poem that I wrote in 2016 when I was taking the ferry, and I really do like the sea. It's one of my favorite things. So today I'm going to be talking about my original crew that I made up for One Piece. Now, I made up some original characters, and there's a few. Now, I started thinking, what are the different races of One Piece? And I started thinking, what would be the best character from each race that I could imagine to be in a crew? I started with giants. There's some pretty cool giants in One Piece. I'll be using some neat art here. However, I came up with the idea of what if there was a giant that used a brass devil fruit. For those who do not know, brass is able to conduct electricity, so the brass devil fruit would be very much like the gold devil fruit that we see in the Grand Tesoro. Basically, so imagine a giant woman that is able to control brass, so electricity, shocks. It's a really cool power. So a brass devil fruit is a really cool devil fruit. So I think the character would look like Baccarat, but would also have the powers of the guy from the Grand Tesoro. Now that would be the first character, a female giant that has a brass devil fruit. The second character would be an angel. I really liked, now when I say angel, I mean the sky people, Skypians. When I saw the Skypians, there was one that was really cool. He wears like this bucket helmet or like a toque thing, and he's got these two guns. The guns are called flash guns. They fire a blinding light as they fire as well. So if he fires the gun at you, you basically get blinded and shot at the same time. But they also have their like jet cloud things. Like they have these shoes where they can like fly in the air and create these little like cloud trails that they can fly on. So I imagined a very acrobatic, very quick moving, also again female. Every single one of these characters will be female because obviously why would I think of a cool male character when I can think of a cooler female character? So a female angel or Skypian, having the two wings, having let's see, those jet sort of shoes that they all use, and having two guns, so two pistols. Now the third character would be a fishman or a fish woman, and that would be, there's a few different fish that I like. There's the viper fish are really cool. Viper fish have red underneath their eyes, so most fish in the water see using blue light, and the defense for seeing against blue light is having certain colors on your body. Now, there are some specific fish that have these photoreceptors underneath their eyes. You know how like footballers have like, or like people that play sports do that thing where they put a little bit of like color underneath their eyes so it reflects, so it doesn't reflect the sun? So it's the exact opposite like that. Viperfish have red photophores right underneath their eyes, and that's able to help illuminate the red light, and they can see in an entirely different spectrum that most fish are not even aware that others can hunt with. So viperfish are really, really cool, but I also like the Dunkleosteus. It's a prehistoric fish before fish evolved actual like, well, we're from the bony fish species, but when I say we, I mean humanity eventually evolved from the bony fish species, but there are multiple different types of fish that were in the sea at one point, and one of them was the Dunkleosteus, or the Dunkleosteus was from one of these specific families. Now the Dunkleosteus, its skull is its teeth. Now this is so far back in the evolutionary line that these were some of the first fish with teeth, and their teeth were just elongated skulls. So the entire head is this like armored skull looking thing that ends in this wicked sharp looking bite, and they were huge and armored. So I imagine a kind of like very streamlined, very like able to jump out of the water, like, so imagine the viperfish sort of mixed with the Dunkleosteus, and this, again, a female fish woman. The weapons used, I think, would be a straight sword, or like, I think would be like a straight sword, not too long of a straight sword, sort of one that like, instead of holding it where the blade is pointing up, it would be one of the ones where it's like drawn where the blade is pointing down to the ground. So a slender, not too long blade that they draw, keeping the blade pointing down. Very much like the smaller lightsaber blades that Ahsoka uses in Star Wars, the Shodos. So like holding it upside down, and it would be like sort of an assassin, like a Dunkleosteus viperfish assassin thing that will just like pull out this one like thin, slender blade that's just like a hand and a half blade, maybe, I don't know, like thinner, almost sort of like what you'd expect a cane blade to be, sort of like that, but very, very easily maneuverable. Now the next one is a, what are they called? The Mink tribe. For those who do not know, the Mink tribe are able, they're just basically animal people in one piece. So any type of animal you can imagine as a specific mink. There's like tiger mink, dog mink, bear mink, everything like that. So the mink that I would think of is a saber-tooth mink. So again, this one would be more streamlined, sort of a hunter. And I imagine this saber-tooth mink to use a spear and be very, very quick, like the, what is it, Sulawong? I don't know, the rabbit chick. It'd be very much like Carrot, the rabbit chick from One Piece, where all of that power, like if you've seen Carrot fight, it is awesome. So imagine Carrot's Sulawong transformation, Sulawong, I can't remember the specific transformation name, but when she goes like crazy and like when the full moon's out and she's able to unleash all of her power and stuff like that, Carrot goes completely berserk. But imagine Carrot except a saber-tooth with a spear, just like charging around, leaping through. So there's a hunter, basically, which is the saber-tooth. There's an assassin, basically, which is the viperfish Dunkleosteus fishwoman. There is a quick maneuverable, like jumping around, but able to snipe and do damage from far away, double pistol wielding Skypian, or angel. And then there is a giant, but not like giant, just kind of larger. I don't know, I wouldn't say it's full giant. I'd say very much sort of like some of the larger characters, like Whitebeard's size. Whitebeard isn't a giant, but he's bigger than some, so not a full giant, but a quite large person, maybe, I don't know, between like 12 and 15 feet, so like still really, really, really tall, but still able to fit on a ship. So that would be a brass devil fruit giant, a Skypian with pistols, a fish woman that is an assassin with a long slender blade, and a spear wielding huntress, which is a saber-tooth mink. So that would be my original crew. Now I really, really, really like One Piece, but I also really like boats and sailing. So in the background of this video, you have been seeing clips from a specific boat named Comanche. Now, Comanche is probably my favorite boat in the entire world. It is a monohull, and I believe it was made for the 2014 races, so it's been quite a few years, and it could be completely irrelevant now. So I don't really know if it's still relevant and if the design still holds, but it is my favorite design. It is a monohull with an extended foil that allows it to run on its side pretty much, having very, very little of it in the water to create drag, yet to be a single monohull that is very strong and durable, and able to do a transatlantic crossing with no engines, just with sails, in 5 days. Now, for those who don't know how impressive that is quite the accomplishment. However, Comanche did this in a very, very unique way. Most people doing the transatlantic crossing use one storm to propel them from the Americas, and then they catch a second storm to get over to Europe. However, what Comanche did was wait for the perfect day, for the perfect storm, and they took one storm system all the way to England. One storm system, 5 days, the entire Atlantic Ocean. It is my absolute favorite ship. However, I would do things a little different. I'm going to make a drawing here so you can understand. Okay, this is going to be kind of shitty because of the way the mic's set up, but basically imagine the boat from the side here. It's going this way in the water. Now imagine there's two things tucked into the side here, one of these on each side. And then now this is it from the back. This is like the very, very, very back that we're seeing. Now instead of having, this is the Comanche from the back right now. It has that like long hull like this, but instead these two things from the side being able to fold out and go down. Two things on the side that are able to fold and they're able to fold in like this. So imagine if there were two foils, one on each side of the ship, and they're able to fold like this. So each foil here is attached in the side of the hull, but then they fold down. So really there's only two small points. So if this is the ship, there'd be something on each side, and then the things could come out and turn down like that. So they're basically they'll fit in, or then they'll turn and fit like that. I don't know if that's understandable at all, but that would be my design for a ship. So one foil attached to each side of the ship, and then they turn and flip down and point like that. Then they fit back into like that. So I really, really like One Piece. It's one of my favorite shows. It's great for the adventure, and it's a perfect in-between between sci-fi and fantasy. I have talked about it before a few times, but I'm glad we can talk about it a little bit more. So my ship would be kind of based on the Comanche, only instead of having that one long solid foil that sticks out straight from the bottom that goes down into the water that allows Comanche to go on its side, I'd have two movable foils that fit into the sides of the ship and then can rotate to go down underneath the ship. Now this would allow the ship a few advantages. Number one, being in shallower water. Comanche is the larger version of another ship named Wild Oats. Wild Oats is a smaller version with a very similar design owned by the same person, and Wild Oats is able to take the advantage in shallower water because of its smaller size, and it would be able to go through smaller rivers because of its lack of long hydrofoils that stick out down below. So having a retractable hydrofoil that can fold in like the wings of a seagull, only then to be deployed. So instead of like gull wing doors, they're basically gull wing hydrofoils. So that's my idea for the ship, and my idea for the crew would be the brass controlling giant that can control electricity or fire. Brass has a ton of powers that you can really utilize really well. An angel with two pistols, a Dunkleosteus viper fish woman assassin, and a saber-tooth mink woman warrior huntress, which sounds pretty awesome. So those are the characters that I created. Hopefully you found them interesting. Hopefully you don't think that it's just super lame. And yeah, One Piece is pretty awesome. I haven't thought about it in a while, but it popped back into my mind just a few days ago, and I decided, hey, why not talk about my original characters that I made up? Maybe you'll enjoy hearing about it. So hopefully you enjoyed the original poem, the original characters, and the ship design. I do love the sea. It is just one of the best things ever. If you want to know more about One Piece, want me to talk about any of my original stuff, or just dive into any specific characters or ideas, devil fruits, powers, rules, anything like that, just let me know and I can discuss it down below. Leave this video a like for more One Piece. A like shows me that you want more of this topic. Subscribe for daily videos. I make a new video every single day on this channel, and leave any questions or suggestions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.